Hello to all. How's everybody doing? I'm stalling because I'm waiting for the crew. Has anybody ever kicked off a game without the crew? And I might have some background noise, which I apologize for. Doing a little mobile studio tonight as we have a little 13-year-old softball practice going on, and they're bumping some music back there in the park. So I'm waiting for a few people to join. Like I said, has anybody ever kicked a game off without a crew? I don't think that that's ever happened before. But talk to me in the chat. How's everybody's season going? We're in the heat of November now. The heat of November. It's probably going to be cold. It's probably going to be quite cold coming up here. I hope that we haven't had too many cold weather games as of yet. But hopefully your season is going well. How many weeks do you have left? Should be Thanksgiving weekend usually ends D1. D2, I believe we end the weekend before that. 2 games left for Dan Foreman, and that is which league again, Dan? Which league this year? Coastal. Yeah. The CIP. 2 games left. Wow. It's crazy how fast it's gone. We say that every year. I hope the background noise isn't that bad. I didn't realize these people were going to do this to me, but they're doing it, and we're going to play on. We're not going to be affected. We're not going to lose focus. All right, here we go. Let's start with some excellent officiating right at the start. Get this all set up, and here we go. So let's start with some excellent officiating. We're going to have a call in the backfield for a chop block, and then look at the back judge. I watched this play, and I thought, what the heck is he doing? Why is he moving into the field and looking all around kind of weird like that? And we'll get to that. Then watch the chop block. So, as referees and center judges, we know that we're going to take these backs into the line, and the referee does an excellent job, and this is a pretty subtle chop block, but I think it's enough. Look at the right tackle and how he kind of adds just enough force as that back goes low. And then when we talk about move with a purpose, this is a back judge moving with a purpose. This route comes right at him, and we have this excellent fixed camera position on the goal line to see all of this. Conference USA is doing that, I've noticed. But this is movement with a purpose. I mean, this is just an excellent job. So what is the back judge doing? First of all, he has to expand his field of vision, so he moves to accomplish that. This receiver is coming right at him. And then what does he have to do? He has to move around to get a line of sight around the it's not the goalpost. Whatever that thing is that holds up the goalpost. I don't know what that's called. But he's got to do that. So this is like the movement with a purpose that we don't normally think about, but he has to do that to get a line of sight to finish the process of the catch. So this was just an excellent piece of officiating, both on behalf of the back judge, getting to what he needed to see to make his final ruling of touchdown. How many times do we see we just go up with touchdown maybe, and then we move? We move to clear ourselves, we move in front of the goalpost, and then we signal touchdown. And then I don't know if any of you guys are back pocket flag throwers, but check out the referee, little back pocket flag thrower. You guys like that?
I like my flag to hang out the side of my pocket.
The side?
Yeah, like Bernie Kukar. I don't know if anybody remembers Bernie Kukar.
He's from Minnesota, northern Minnesota.
Really?
Wait, the side of your back pocket or the side of your
whatever.
Your side pocket, your
whatever,
front pocket.
Wherever you find it.
I don't think that's what you do, Tuta.
For the people that weren't late, I already apologize for my background noise. We got an all-out party going on in the park where Lily's having practice. So I don't know how.
I just appreciate you reiterating that apology because
for the people that weren't late, they already heard that.
It doesn't matter.
So-
You just knew you needed to apologize. So you
No,
didn't
I
get
just wanted to
and I
emphasize for the people
appreciate-
that weren't late.
I just
um,
appreciate you acknowledging
DY.
that authority.
DY,
What's up?
DY, hey, DY, shush for a second, if you will. We need to focus.
How about that?
This is this. Look, I watched this play and I said, this back judge is out of his mind. What is he doing, for crying out loud? Like, why is he moving all weird? And then you actually break down what he needs to do. And obviously, for a trained back judge like yourself, at least I hope you are, this is probably what you want to do. But this is really, really cool just to watch him execute on finding the football on a receiver going to the ground, to survive the process of the catch.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I think it's great. I think this is really hard because there's nothing that really communicates to him that he needs to take his eyes off. I think that's number 6. That's probably where he starts and stays with throughout this play. And then all of a sudden you just feel this guy and he feels like he's 2 inches from your face. He's not, but that's what it feels like when he's running towards you. And then the ball's in the air. And it looks like, I can't say for sure, but it looks like he does a great job of, as he's turning, immediately getting his eyes to the ground. I'm not sure which angle I was looking at, but I think that's fantastic to have that awareness that, wow, the inline's threatened right now. So that's the first thing I need to do. And now just recognizing that, okay, this is a receiver going to the ground. Now, look, the ball could have popped down and then come back up and we could have missed that. There's nothing we can do about that. But if we circle around and we see that ball, is on the ground, then we don't have a premature touchdown signal. We can wipe this out, and it just looks so much better than if we just immediately go up with touchdown and then either the side judge or field judge have to come in and tell us something, or worse, it has to go to review and they have to fix it there. So I think it makes all the sense in the world for him to circle around. And really what it communicates, what's really great about it, it just communicates that we're doing the process, right? That we're not just like, I think you said it earlier.
Exactly.
Just knee-jerk response that, firm control, body part down, he's inbounds, it's a touchdown. We're thinking about all of the elements, which I love.
Can I offer a tiny bit of opportunity for improvement
To the back judge?
To the back judge?
Yes, absolutely.
No, you're not qualified.
Yeah,
I'm very qualified.
You don't know a single thing. All due respect, you don't know a single thing about what you're about to say.
First of all, I know where to stand when I'm under the upright for a field goal or try.
You're going to get yourself hurt. Just watch your mouth.
I'm going to throw that out there.
There may or may not have been some shade thrown in the offices this week.
Okay, what's your point? Tell us. Help us out. What do you see?
What I'm saying is the back judge clearly loses the ball for some period of time when the receiver goes to the ground.
Sure.
What I would love for him to do is do everything he's doing except give a cursory look to the person who would have a clear view of the ball the entire time, whether it's the field judge or side judge at the bottom. And if they are sitting there looking in the stands, whistling Dixie or whatever they feel like doing over there, then go up with the touchdown signal. Because as you mentioned, I would hate for him to give a touchdown signal and then a dude comes screaming in saying, whoa, 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 the ball was on the ground. So if we ever know that we lose sight of the ball, I think we need to give a cursory look to the official that we are boxing it in with, just to ensure that what we're about to rule is congruent with what they are also ruling.
So I want to just defend the back judge, and I like what you're saying. Trust me, I do like what you're saying. By the way, this party is ramping up back here, so everybody just
this is new thing called AirPods, Brendan.
What are you doing on here, man?
Yeah, I know.
Noise.
I know. I might want to
cancellation.
Noise cancellation is for your hearing, not for your microphone. So good call there. Anyways.
Talk to my daughter almost every day, and she uses AirPods, and there's trains rolling by and everything else, and I hear nothing.
Okay, I'll have to investigate that. Daniel's
you may
really good. I know that.
Yeah.
Anyways, to this back judge's defense, the deep, if you're a deep wing, there we go. If you're a deep wing, this is not Gigi. Maybe Gigi's better. If you're a deep wing and you see your back judge in that, why don't you aggressively come help him? In this case, so I think there's a couple of. I agree the back judge should look, but I think the deep wing should recognize that want to make sure that I provide that help.
Sure, but we didn't get an opportunity to do that. The only way you get opportunity is if whoever we're boxing in, and this could be, and I'm not criticizing the back judge. I'm just talking in general.
No,
When
I know.
box
I know.
plays in, and we know we lose the ball, we have to give a cursory look to the other official that we are boxing it in with, and just to ensure. We don't need to go stare. We don't need to go have a arm rubbing conversation and all that other crap.
For sure.
But just look up and see what they're doing, and if they're not doing anything, bang, then bang it.
There may or may not be another angle that shows nobody doing anything else. So, I mean, I'm with you, but I'm with you all the way. Trust me.
Well, here's where I would not be with you is the deep wing at the top of the screen has no intention at all of moving towards the inline. And the other guy's on the pylon too, I just don't think I'm going to look backwards at him.
It does look weird, huh?
It would just feel really awkward. Right. If he's on the inline, and I hate what you're saying so much because when we're with back judges, we talk all the time. We want to own the inline. The inline is ours. However, in this case, if I have him on that back pylon, I agree. I would prefer. I can't say that I would, but I would prefer to give him a quick look because it is fast, right? And you
don't see the ball. The ball literally could be on the ground.
But I don't have a problem with not looking in this scenario when the deep wings are on the goal line.
Okay. This is when I was making my comment, I did think, this would feel awkward to turn, look, and then turn around and look to see what the other dude said. That looks stupid. But I think it's halfway. I just think it's necessary. And I don't know how to implement it, but
I just absolutely love what he did. I love what you're saying too. I'm with both of you that practically I'm not sure we're going to turn 180 degrees before we give a signal.
Yeah, that looks
to look
dumb.
at somebody that's standing on the pylon, somewhat disinterested.
It almost looks like, hey guys, does anybody know what happened over here?
Right. and I mean, he really does own this as much as he can, and he fights to get this call, and I just love that. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't have much to say on the chop block. Well.
Oh, you didn't give me a chance to.
Well, you didn't really show it. That's okay. It's just an excellent call. It's a subtle push by the.
Here's if I'm watching myself on this play, this is like so tough. Ideally, never mind. There's really nothing to say because you're never going to feel him earlier than he does. You're just not. The way the ball comes out and the route comes, you're
talking about moving a little earlier, huh?
Well, I'm saying if you could move down the inline the other way and let him cross your face, you'd be in great shape, but you're never going to do that. There's just no way. I don't think.
No. Come on.
Daniel, just be quiet. Especially with your gimpy foot. There's no way you're going to run. All you're going to do is get ran over like you always do if you try to go.
You have no idea. None. That goalpost would totally just shake the foundations of everything you believe is beneficial. You would just freak totally out. You'd be behind it.
What is that called? I know what the goalpost is. What is that called that we're working together?
It's a 3-letter word, pad.
Standard?
That's not the.
It's a simple pad that's wrapped around the goalpost.
The pad is on something. What is that called?
Goalpost. It's a goalpost and it's an upright.
Goalposts are the uprights.
It's a goalpost, a crossbar, and uprights. Okay. Those are the three things that make up.
I think it's time to move on to the next play. All right, here we go.
Wait, can we talk chop block?
What do we say about the chop block?
Man, I just think it's good focus. It is subtle, but to me, I hope you disagree because it's fun when you do. To me, and usually you're wrong. To me, there is enough force with that left hand by the right tackle to create a chop block. By the way, the running back's low block is otherwise legal, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
If he was stationary, which I can't tell through these videos, if he was stationary in the box prior to the ball being snapped, then yes, it will be legal.
Yeah, just a 2x2 single setback. So
yeah. But yeah, we always talk about the focus of he's set. Yeah, that block is legal. How do we know that the defender feels the right tackle on him and is at any inherent risk of or danger of being hurt? That'll be someone who could be really technical about it, but I don't like to be technical with these type of fouls. If you got some high action, you got some low action, and the high action is intentional by the blocker, let's just go ahead, fly the flag.
Well, that's it. There's contact both high and low, and they're both intentional. It's
Correct.
obvious to me that they're both intentional. That's a
Correct.
foul. I know that maybe that little push with his left hand isn't the most vicious thing in the
No, who
world.
cares?
That's not what the rule is talking about.
Correct.
So, he's getting cut low, and then the rule is designed that there should be no more force added to him high to prevent his ability to defend himself.
Right.
And look, you can say, well, he could have, he saw the block, he defended, he's fine. He didn't get hurt. Doesn't matter. It's a foul. It's a foul.
Hey, DY, I think I might want to agree with you, even though I know you're not athletic enough to move that quickly. We got a trips formation, and that dude that actually caught the touchdown pass was, I think, the person that the back judge should focus on throughout. Am I incorrect in that assessment?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think because we have the
That's
one guy
just
stay
playing the
shallow and the
results.
other guy come up the middle at him, I think that's where the deep wing's going to officiate.
The dude who caught the pass, you think the deep wing is going to officiate that one?
Yeah, because I thought it was number 6, but number 8 is running.
Oh,
up the
shoot.
middle deep
My bad.
also.
Oh, I see number 8. I missed
Yeah.
number 8. Yeah. Okay. My fault. I'll take it
There's
back.
no way with the ball snapped here we're going to move laterally to get behind.
Oh, Daniel said he would because he said
No,
didn't
he was
say that.
he was
That's not what I
posing.
said.
He was offering it.
Yeah, that's just clown talk. Let's not even give that the time of day.
Let's kick the ball off.
Yeah,
Let's kick the ball off here. Since you guys were late, we got to push the kickoff back. We'll actually go into a kickoff.
Wait, Daniel was late?
Tuta was
Yeah,
late.
yeah, you were.
I was here before Tuta.
All right, let's watch the block. Okay, we've seen this scheme before. This is tough. Let's watch these two players circled and watch their collision. And then let's just talk about, what this is and what it isn't. So it's a hard hit. Pretty vicious.
Hey, where are these Wildcats? What Wildcats are these?
Excuse me?
What Wildcats are these?
This is the rivalry in New Hampshire versus Villanova.
Oh, New Hampshire is the Wildcats?
Speaking of Dan Foreman, maybe it was on this game. I don't know. I know that this is his league. So we do have some nice video editing going on and some slow motion here just so that we all have a really good look at this. We had OFK to start. That's what your flag is down for. If you get tired of the clowns going to the circus, that's a pretty good. I like that.
A lot of circuses in Kingwood, Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, so we got to decide. We don't have to officiate the OFK. That was pretty obvious. Good job by the back judge or umpire, whoever that was, to get that. So let me ask you guys, because you're kind of teaching me a new thing about these blindside blocks. This is a shoulder-to-shoulder hit.
You scoured the
Shoulder-
universe. You scoured the universe for
You're
this.
you're smarter than I've ever given you credit for. This is
Oh
a
my
shoulder-to-shoulder hit.
He
He
probably
doesn't see
called the
this
coach
coming.
to ask him to run this type of blocking action.
Well, we've seen this scheme before on kickoff return. Remember, you guys remember? It probably still happens. I don't know, but we saw this scheme from a certain team down there in Fort Worth, Texas, that would do this, and they said, "We're going to do everything we can, and we dare you guys to call it because you won't." And they were talking about blocks in the back mostly. But anyways, that's a long time ago. That's not relevant to today. Talk to me about this block. This guy doesn't see this coming. He can't protect himself from it. It's shoulder to shoulder. Let's talk about it. I'm not kidding. This is a good learning play.
If we evaluate the fact that the player being blocked truly did not see the block coming, then I will be very comfortable throwing a flag for illegal blindside block. The first evaluation is, does the player see the block coming? In this situation, it does not appear that this player sees the block coming.
Well, I'll tell you, he doesn't. He's coming off a block, and his vision is focused on the ball carrier.
Exactly. The block was delivered with an attacking action from the blocker using a shoulder. And I think the block was inherently forceful and attacking in nature. I would be very comfortable calling this an illegal blindside block, even though it is directly from the front.
Here's the issue.
It is election day. Just an aside, it is election day, and we do have certain politicians I've noticed in the past that
I
just
thought
will
election day was
not.
next week.
I think it's election day today, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it is next week. I don't know. We do have politicians that are very, what's the word? You get very much attached to your platform and you just won't let go. So anyways, go ahead, DY.
So here's the issue, because I had this same conversation with multiple people that I officiate with on a weekly basis relative to the other play. We want to say, well, what else is he supposed to do? He's just blocking the guy, and he doesn't. There's not. I mean, like, we can't hold him responsible that the other guy didn't see it. He should see it, and so we can't hold him responsible. He's not doing anything intentionally illegal, and I don't think that's what the rule cares about at all. I think the rule is intended to protect players and its safety, and so it's not about like, oh well, what do we want him to do to not foul? I don't think anybody cares. I think if it's the block occurs such that he doesn't have, if we judge on the field that he doesn't have the opportunity to defend himself and the block is forcible, then we have the elements for a blindside block.
Thank you, Daniel Young. If you were next to me, I would hug you. I definitely would. I would hug you very tightly.
And charge you with sexual assault.
Good. Hang on.
Hug?
So, wow.
Yeah.
That's weird. That
it's not.
Escalated quickly. By the way, the tunes in the background are really good. I know that must be a great experience for everybody.
That's GG.
Hey, I hear what you guys are saying. That's great. And we're going to talk about the same thing we talked about last week. So we got to recognize this probably. No. I'm just talking about recognition. We got to recognize this. We're never going to potentially even come close to evaluating this as illegal if we don't recognize it. So kickoff mechanics are tough. Kickoff mechanics put us in a tough spot, right? Some people work zone. Some people work kicking team players. I actually heard somebody say they work receiving team players once, which blew my mind. How do you see this whole block start from beginning to end, and from which position do you guys think?
I think it'll be very difficult to see the block, honestly, because it's in the middle of a bunch of players. And it's not a traditional type of block. I don't know. Maybe the referee would have the best chance of seeing it just because the way the play developed and the way from the direction in which the blocker came. I believe the referee may have the best shot. I don't think any of the downfield officials would have any piece of this just because of where the block occurred and the number of bodies all around. I just can't see them really having a sense of how the block developed. They'll just see a dude getting hit and knocked to the ground, and it will probably look like just a simple decleater, which,
Yeah, I really have just a real tough time with this as a foul. I just don't, I don't know. It just, to me, this is a scheme exactly as the way it's drawn up. I guess it's a hard hit, but man, I mean, good.
So Brandon, what part are you struggling with? Tell me.
I
just
struggle because, I mean, I get that it fits into the box of the illegal blindside block rule based on what you guys are saying, but man, he's just moving forward to block. And
block who?
The guy who blocks.
And what is the dude who's blocking? Blocking?
I just said I get what you're saying. I get that it checks all those boxes. It's just not the block the spirit of the rule is intended for, in my humble opinion. But if we see this clearly, I think we're still going to have a tough time recognizing this as a foul.
Okay, can I ask you, is this block initiated from outside the opponent's field of vision?
I already said it checks
Did you say yes
all
or
the
no?
boxes of the rule.
I'll take that as a yes.
Absolutely.
Did this opponent
reasonably
have an opportunity to defend himself against that block?
All the boxes of the rule.
I take that as a no. So I'm just reading blindside block. I'm literally reading the rule book.
I am too.
Okay.
And we know this. Not every single action fits the rule book perfectly. This is one to me that we need to. I think he just does a great job. He hits him in the chest. He throws his shoulder into him. His head's to the side. I think everything's great about this.
Okay.
And I know it violates the rule as written, but it's not.
I would. I think I would see this if I'm on the bottom as the back judge. There's no other threat to my other initial key. I would follow him all the way through.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't. The odds of this presenting as a blindside block to me on the field are so slim. They really are. I can't argue with that. Like, I don't know that I would ever see that and it would recognize. But I would argue with you a little bit, Brandon, in that I think 88 is totally seeking this guy out. I think
Absolutely.
he knows
That's his assignment.
that's my dude. I'm going to murder this guy.
Absolutely.
And so, but I do agree that when you watch this on the field, it's probably not going to present as a foul. I can't argue with that.
It's all good.
I think I would see the
we
block.
don't need to keep beating the dead horse, although I love doing this.
But you're suggesting that the coach's scheme, which clearly flaunts the rules,
Yeah.
is appropriate because it's a scheme. I'm
And
confused by that.
All I'm saying is this doesn't appear to me. I'm not going to give the coach's scheme. I guess I said it, but this doesn't seem to be. If they said let's look at 100 plays to put in the illegal blindside block rule, this play wasn't one of the 100.
So why is number 80 running 40 yards from the other side of the field to block someone who's on this side of the field?
I got it. It's a good scheme. It's a great scheme.
Gotcha.
It checks all the boxes of the rule to make it a foul. I got you on that. But like DY is watching the kicking team player, we're not even going to have really that much of an appreciation where this guy came from. And from that standpoint, I don't know how we get this. And how we consistently call it.
Right.
And it just doesn't even really register as a foul at all, other than on video 20 times.
I would, just from a mechanical perspective, we've talked a lot about this, but if you were at the bottom, I don't know if that's the back judge or the umpire, but man, once we see those blocks starting to set up, I mean, look, don't blow out your plantar fascia trying to get there, but once you see those blocks starting to set up, that's a great time to just get still. Let's just get still. If we're moving, we certainly don't have we're not going to see any kind of details. So let's just settle in and officiate this action.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right.
I want to continue to talk about this blindside block because I think it's so interesting, but I know we can't.
You want to keep talking about it right now?
No, because everybody's going to log off. But
well, they already have.
It's
because really we're just doing personal vendettas.
What we do on a weekly basis? I mean, I know that's what Tuta does.
Well, that's true.
No, I'm sharing wisdom and knowledge. That's what I'm doing.
All right, here's a little easier one. Joe Martin's here for the polls. Well, probably not tonight. Here's a little easier one. So we are going to have a couple interesting outside in blocks. And then we do have a face mask. Nice call. Just a solid call. It's so easy. Yeah, these face masks are easy until you miss one right in front of you because, you know what I mean? So we do have a pulling he's pulling out of the backfield and then he sets up. We're good with that block, I hope. Although I might have to check myself with you guys here lately. But then we do have a wide receiver coming outside in a crackback fashion. So why don't you guys, if you don't mind, since we're here, evaluate these two blocks.
Go ahead, DY. Brandon doesn't seem to like my opinion on this type of action.
Yeah.
I don't like either of your opinions, quite frankly.
So were we talking about 83's block initially or 24's block?
13.
24. I don't think we have an issue with. Gosh, I hope we don't have an issue with 24. He kind of put a hand on somebody. No, there's somebody leading kind of a lead blocker in a way out of the backfield. He sets up kind of as a, and then the vector of his force is back towards the inside. But I mean, talk about how we evaluate all that.
Yeah, so the standard for us relative to blindside block doesn't change. It's does the defender have the opportunity to defend himself? Is the block forcible? In my opinion, this doesn't meet either of those standards. 44 is running into the blocker, and he doesn't block him. He just stops and absorbs his contact, which is, I guess, what the rules makers want. This is unfortunate for our game, but that's what it is. So certainly nothing wrong with 83's block. 13's block is a little more interesting. And here's what you need to do. What we need to make sure that we're doing is deep officials because we just need to be prepared to evaluate these actions and be thinking about the boxes that were so delicately laid out for us on the last play that need to be checked. Because as soon as 13 starts going back towards the original position of the ball, that just needs to get our attention. Oh my gosh, man. I remember this red hat. Oh, buddy. Anyways.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you worked the
Worked
full
like
schedule
8
here that one
games
time.
in New Mexico
Is
State.
did I thought we framed your Letterman's jacket. Does that come yet in the mail?
Yeah, I just got
Yeah.
it last week. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Took a long time. But gosh, he struggles. Anyways, all due respect. So once he starts coming back towards the original position of the ball, too, you used to know how to work deep. We just got to start thinking about these things. And there's a lot of bad things that can happen, from blocking the back to blindside block to low block. So clearly, I think we can agree the defender here doesn't have the opportunity to defend himself. This is a little bit more of the classic in terms of whether or not it's blindside. He's running towards the sideline. His attention is upfield at the ball carrier, and he gets hit by number 13. So I think we're probably, Brandon, all okay saying this is blindside in nature?
So the last block was blindside. If you want to define that by not having the opportunity to see the block coming, absolutely.
You can block somebody in the back, and Brandon would think it's not
here's the thing.
blindside by nature.
I will repeat myself what I said. It checks all the boxes. It's just not a foul.
Whoa. Dan, you didn't say it was a foul. Whoa.
I'm talking about the last play.
Oh,
We're not talking about the last play.
You said, I know, but I said the last one was blindside block by the definition.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about this one. Like, we're comfortable saying this is blindside.
Yes, this guy's scraping across down the line with his vision clearly focused on the receiver.
And
this guy approaches him from outside.
Man. Like, I'm not going to assume that I know what you're thinking.
Thanks for following the script. That was good conflict.
Yeah. Okay. So not a foul, right? Just because it's blindside doesn't automatically make it a foul. We have to evaluate the rest of the action. It is the block forcible? To me, I see 13 with the potential to really do some damage here. I don't like what happens with the forearms. It makes me a little bit uncomfortable right here. That right forearm seems to travel up towards the headgear, but that's not really what we're evaluating. We're just evaluating, is this forcible in nature? And I think just before he gets there, for me, and Tujai, your opinion may differ because it's not totally clear cut. There's a little bit of an explosion there at the end. But what I like is 13 stopping before that contact and not continuing to run and then explode into the defender. So for me, I like this as borderline. It's something I may even consider just writing up, like, here's how I felt about this block, and hopefully getting some substantive feedback about it. But I like this as not an illegal blindside block because I don't think it meets our threshold for forcible.
Would you want to fight me if I threw that flag, DY?
I would. No, of course not. I've got nothing but love for you. But I would, if I'm officiating this action and you throw this flag, I'm probably going to try to take you off of it.
Really? Oh, so you feel that strongly about the explosion?
That's a good talker.
Yeah, because I'm with you that I do like the fact that 13 stopped, but I don't like that explosion he did at the end.
There's a little bit. Yep. Can't argue with that.
But I would be standing there and I'll be like, you know what? I don't want to throw my flag on this. But if you threw your flag, I would not want to come and take you off of it because I think I see enough of an element.
There's enough there.
Yeah, that makes me say I can understand why this dude would throw it, but I wouldn't want to throw it, and I wouldn't want to come take you off of it. Yeah. I
just want to test your conviction a little bit there and just say, hey, I've got him stopping, and I know there was a little something there, but I just don't think it rises to the level of forcible. If you've got some doubt there, maybe I can help us pick this up. And if you're just no, he blew him up, this is my guy, I'm staying on it, then we're moving. I don't know. Maybe
I'm open-minded. I'm not like you, Daniel. I accept input when I throw a flag and someone comes.
You are very open-minded. We know you. So where we at? Hey,
I do think we need to go talk to 13 after this play. I really do think.
That's a great point. I love that. Yeah, I love that.
He needs to, because he needs to be careful.
Yeah, you're on thin ice, my man. You're right there at it.
Right. And he would understand. I promise you, he would understand.
I absolutely agree.
And we can see the difference. I love that Brandon pointed out 83 and 13. We can see the difference. 83 was no explosion whatsoever into the player who he was blocking. He just sat there and waited and absorbed the ball.
That's football in 2023. Just take it. Don't hit anybody.
It's called blocking. It's called blocking.
It is.
No, it's called obstructing.
It's called getting in the way. Obstructing. That's right. It's obstructing.
It's called obstructing.
You're not supposed to block anymore. You're supposed to just obstruct people.
Okay, so we're developing some process elements here for blindside block, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, you need help.
There's going to be, I know I need help. There's going to be some doubt at times because there's tweener plays, as we've kind of uncovered here lately. Well, in my mind, not yours, but so if there's doubt that the guy can defend himself from the block, do we want to lean on the side that he can or he can't?
I would say that he can't. If I have doubt that he can,
Interesting.
I would say that for both elements. I think if we're in doubt relative to blindside block,
well, okay.
the
I would
culture,
go the other way on
the climate of the game right now is more apt to support a foul than not.
Well,
yes.
support
Okay,
is a really dirty word, but
I know it is.
hear
I'm
what
just
you're
telling
saying.
you. But I mean, if we're talking about support at all levels, it has to inform practice at some point.
Ooh, kind of went all. I like when you do that to us, Daniel. I love when you do that to us. You need to do that more, not too much, but just just mix in that even more. Hey, and then what's okay? That's the player receiving the block, the player delivering the block. If there's doubt that it's forcible or whatever.
Yeah,
attacking. Okay, all right. You're gonna say you want to lean towards it is if you have a doubt.
So I do. I just think again the tenor around this foul seems to lean that way. You don't think so, too, Todd?
No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Yeah, I didn't understand what you were saying at first.
Okay.
Yeah, when in doubt, the dude cannot see the block coming. No,
so when in doubt here, both elements lean towards making it a foul. Is what I'm hearing. Fine. Okay, cool. Let's talk about just the side judge's mechanics or whoever this is. Maybe it's the field judge. I can't remember. All right. So look, we're gonna obviously have this guy coming back in, right? He's the whitest guy. I mean, that's just side judge, field judge 101. Is there enough time to get out to also get this face mask? Because this is entirely possible. The line of scrimmage official could get shielded from this quick face mask. Is it possible to transition from making a decision on this, crackback action to get out and get this face mask or not?
For most people, maybe. But for me, no, because I'm just going to be sitting there fighting myself over that flag. I'm like, man, I don't know if I like this flag. I'm thinking about it the whole time.
Because you threw the flag on you're saying
if I throw it on 13, I'm not going to like it. If I don't throw it on 13, I'm not going to like it. I'm just going to be sitting there fighting myself.
That's right. You're not going to like it either way. That is one
either way. That's true. If you've ever worked a game with him, and hopefully none of you ever have to go through that, every flag is a debate for hours on end.
And non-flag.
And non-flag, that's right.
But look, as a side judge, you're never going to try to work back to the block area. You may end up there because you try to come back out to 24th block, right?
Yep. Yeah, unless there's literally nothing else happening and all you can look at is the runner. Yeah.
I feel like the culture is shifting towards these sidelines being threatened or a two-part judgment right now.
Two-man job. It takes two of these idiots to get this right. When they're close to the sideline. Sorry, I'm kidding. I had some frustration.
You can get the sideline from the back judge position, huh?
All the time. I picked up a late hit out of bounds week 1, so
stop it.
I picked the flag up. I'm telling you.
Oh, you picked the flag up.
Yep.
Wow, that's an interesting angle.
Yep.
Okay, so you didn't really answer you kind of didn't. No. I think best practice is it would be great to make a decision on 13's action.
Yeah,
there is enough time and get back out here. I'm not saying we need to get that, but if we can strive to get to another player action after we see 13 do what he did, that would be best practice.
Yes.
Whether that's getting the face mask or just working that other block or just simply maybe it's working late hit out of bounds. I don't know. But this is a good play to study from that standpoint, I think. A lot of good, little micro elements here in this play.
Officiating is hard, Brandon. I mean,
officiating is pretty hard. That's a good point.
And we sit here and talk about all these plays, but man, this stuff is hard. When you get out on the field and all these people are moving all over the place, and then you got to start putting in all of the mental aspects of throwing the flag, not throwing the flag, what's the number, where's the yard line, did I get it right, did my flag go in the right spot, oh my God, this dude, did I miss a face mask? Man, this stuff is hard. And then you got to do that 180 times.
Especially little to zero tolerance for not being perfect. So it makes it extra hard.
I know.
I would just like to submit to the committee that I've called blindside block in back-to-back weeks the last 2 weeks. The first one was a no-brainer. The second one I had to think about a little bit.
Did you like it after you saw it on film?
Oh, yeah. You know
Okay.
how that goes.
I'll be the judge of that.
No, I did. I liked it.
Kidding. I need to go look that play up. I'm just kidding. Good.
I'm not.
I think these are valuable discussions, at least for me, and maybe nobody else. You guys are like, what's this guy talking about? Oh boy. Here we
Yeah.
We got the margaritas pouring. What's
Well,
going on
I
out there,
think-
Brandon?
They're now they're playing some Metallica and starting to yell louder.
Yeah. This is at the softball fields?
There's something going on in the parking lot, dude. It's a public park, so I don't know what's going on. There's a picnic shack over there. It's crazy.
Man,
Valley of the Sun.
I like it.
Yeah. What do you guys want to do? Let's do this. Oh, here. This is a great. Tudor, you have a history of riding our umpires a little bit unnecessarily.
I love umpires.
Okay.
I invented Hug Your Umpire Week. I don't know if you recall that or
Sure.
not.
There's
I
a
remember
Gishi
Hug Your
12.
Umpire Week.
There's a GSG 12. We're at 168 now. We didn't know if we would make it past 20. Well, actually, we didn't know if we'd make it past 13 at that point on VSG 12. Hey, umpire nails this. Look, he's looking at the second level block, right?
Yes.
We got, I can't remember if this is the guard or the center climbing to get 10. B10 is a linebacker. This is a second level block. Here's what I want to talk about. Okay, this is a no-brainer. He grabs him, restricts him, spins him. It's great. What about time and space? So let's just evaluate this from an impact standpoint, right? We don't need to go through if this is a holding action. Let's talk about time and space. So the delay between the restriction and the ball becoming dead is huge. Let's talk about the proximity element and if we can reconcile whether there's impact on the play as a result of this action by the player who grabs, twists, and restricts number 10. Talk to me.
Is there any debate at all on that?
I'm just asking. Let's just make sure we talk about it.
So I think this helps me a lot watching video and seeing this stuff. I threw a flag a couple weeks ago on an OH on the backside of a play, and the runner ran for in fact, he ran to the left side. He ran for like 40 yards, and my flag was way on the backside of the play. And one of the officials on the crew tried to get me to pick it up because it was so far away, but I had actually done the thing that you kind of taught us, Brandon, about reversing time, recognizing the restriction, reversing time to where the runner was at the time of the restriction. And I put that together, and I was able to recognize that, you know what, this dude was right there when this restriction started. And I think if we do that on this particular play, we can see that the linebacker number 10 is being restricted about 2 yards away from where the runner actually was. So I really think that from a proximity standpoint, this checks the box for holding to me. And this is a no-brainer to me. But I think it's something that we could easily get fooled because by the time the flag comes out, the dude is way at the sideline.
And then for the next three plays after that, Tuta, you were thinking, gosh, was he right?
Oh, absolutely.
Ah, that was a bad call.
Absolutely.
Was it even holding? He didn't even restrict him.
Right.
So here's what I will add to this that may or may not be helpful to some folks is what we need to be careful of. And we've had these conversations often as we work with different officiating groups. If you go to the place where could he have made the tackle or not,
Right.
You may get into that space where you think, the proximity is not there. It's not point of attack because that's your standard. And the problem with that standard is you don't know. Nobody knows if he would have made the tackle or not. But we can all agree that it's relatively close proximity. The restriction is huge. Clearly the time part, and we need to make sure we're all on the same page, is that when we have these OHs and the ball carrier runs for distance, right? It's not really close to restriction and then ball carrier down, that proximity window kind of gets bigger. And so when we just watch this in terms of general proximity to the runner, Man, I think like Tuta said, for most of us, it's going to be a no-brainer. We're going to say, yeah, that's close enough proximity. The restriction's big. He runs for a long time after the restriction. But if we go to that place, well, could he have made the tackle or not? And that's where we sometimes take advantage, disadvantage. We may end up saying, well, he could have made the tackle. And I just think that's incorrect. I think that's a bad way to look at it.
And the other thing too, DY, is you just can't yank dudes like this. He yanked the dude, then he twisted the dude, then he turned the dude around. Yeah. I mean, from a proximity standpoint, I halfway start. I will stretch my proximity a lot, my proximity evaluation a lot if the blocking technique is so poor and so illegal.
Just huge.
I mean, oh my God, yeah.
Because part of me wants to ask this umpire just to be a little bit more patient, and then a part of me realizes that it's a huge grab and restrict, and there's nothing to think about. But
Well, here's what I would offer. Perfectly. Let's go here then.
Yeah.
6 takes a better angle and makes the tackle. What do we have?
Ooh, that's a great question.
I may still have a flag.
It's hard in slow motion. It looked like a foul still.
I mean, the dude is just yanking. He just grabbed him and yanked him and spun him.
We're not debating. We're not debating.
He ragdolled him. I'm just sick of people doing just.
You're sick. It's November.
I think if 6 steps up and makes that tackle, what is that? The 29-yard line. I think I probably prefer we just eat this.
Let's write it up. I think we can get away with that.
Bam! Right there, he tackles it.
I don't love it. But I think if we just process and we got a tackle by 6 right there, I mean, that's a really bad angle by him, quite frankly. Or maybe we got to give more credit to the running back down juking him or whatever. That's fine. In slow motion, there's a lot more time but in real time, I think you're going to process. He's tackled by 6, write it up. That's where I'm at with it. But I love how we evaluate everything else.
Yeah, I think I am too. It's not as personal for you and I, it sounds like, as it is for others.
Yeah, I don't know. Did somebody I think in the practice squad.
Did somebody hold you as a child?
Yeah. That's what happens when you're on the practice squad.
Oh, yeah. I can relate to that.
Whatever it was.
Scout team.
Yeah.
We didn't have all that at my school.
Backup tight end on the scout team. How are you a tight end, by the way?
I have no idea. Probably because I was slow and couldn't catch. I went out for wide receiver and I was way too slow and I wasn't really good at catching the ball.
I can definitely attest to the lack of speed. But it's
how down and distance a factor on holding is a question? No. Nope.
Well, here's my deal.
I would not want to do that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think basically what you and Daniel are saying is which we've always said is see the foul, find the ball. And the fouling action. See the fouling action and find the ball. And I think on this play, to be honest, the umpire did not find the ball at all. He just saw the fouling action and threw it.
Oh, he did. He immediately ripped.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I do want to commend us seeing this. This is a second level block, and I get it.
I'm sorry, I say yes, absolutely. Love him working to the second level.
But it could be easy. We could be processing whatever's happened to 57 on a classic double team that doesn't need to be looked at. But we're not. We're watching this guy climb to the second level, grab, twist 10 at the shoulders. The question that Joe had is, would you consider down and distance a factor on calling this or not?
So I think what he's saying is, let's say it's 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 3, and 6 makes the tackle, and the dude got the first down, and we pass on the holding. I think that's a legitimate question.
I think it's a legitimate question. I do think that we need to be pros and become pros and keep working on assessing the impact of the fouling action. And I know everybody can always say, well, what if the defense fouled? Well, you know what? Then I don't care if the defense fouled. If I discern that had no impact on the play, it's not holding.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. And question I hate with a passion.
Yeah, and this is, by the way, we're all in agreement here. This play as presented is a foul. No question. This is an excellent call. Maybe a little process opportunity, right, that we've talked about. Let's make sure we just realize that how much time passed after this, and so that diminishes any type of proximity that you may evaluate, which to Tuchon's point isn't that much, even though in real time it probably feels like a lot. It's
Right.
not because of how much time there is, but whatever. But look, if Six steps up, makes the tackle as he should have, in my opinion, us linebackers who stepped up and filled holes,
Jeez.
we know what that feels. We got to make this tackle.
This dude played 3-man football, and he's talking about us linebackers.
3-man.
Man, football.
Don't get Joe Martin. Joe Martin's with us.
I
Joe
know.
Martin was
I
the
apologize.
AD at Edgemont High School.
I apologize to Joe for any shade thrown at the state of South Dakota, but some people just don't deserve to either call themselves South Dakotans. I'm sorry.
Yeah, especially when they
Wow.
abandoned this.
There's no abandonment. I was there 2 weeks ago.
Jump
What are you talking
ship.
about? I was there.
And they asked you to leave.
They did.
Nobody asked me to leave. I just
When you
didn't.
came back, they said,
didn't
"Look,
feel
if you
that
don't want to
welcome.
be here, don't come back."
Hot Springs is playing for the. That's right. Western. That's right. West River is playing for a title.
Wait,
this
we're in
weekend.
the championships already in South Dakota?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We got to get the semifinals out of the way. But there's already been a snowstorm.
I guess that's-
Where do they play the finals in a dome, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Vermilion, where the University
Dakota?
of South Dakota plays. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember watching some South Dakota championships with you.
We did that as a
In our
pregame.
hotel
that one
room.
time. Or actually, I think we canceled pregame and watched the game. But don't do that. That's not a good thing. It was week 13.
Yeah, everybody had already given up. I mean,
Anyways,
what?
I think we're good.
that's
So
good.
I guess my just to finish that, I don't have down and distance too much of a factor into my impact assessment for offensive holding.
Right.
But if you guys do, I would love to hear about that. That would not register in my. I mean, I know what the down and distance is, but
Yeah, it wouldn't. To me, it's tantamount to the well, if the offensive or the defense
Right.
fouled. Also,
Agreed.
you evaluate it relative to the elements, and that one's just not going to enter into me. If my judgment is Six making that tackle really just makes that not a foul, and I'm comfortable with that. To me, it won't matter if it's 1st and 10 or 3rd and 3. That's just where I'm at with it. So
I'm with you, DY, and I think we need to just consistently use a process-based approach for evaluating action to determine if we're going to throw a flag. And all those extraneous things shouldn't be used other than, and there's only one exception to me, and that's fourth quarter time and score. Now, if we want to use fourth quarter time and score,
there you go. Yeah.
yes. But anything other than evaluating the actual action and everything else, the elements that you want to use for evaluating the action, I would dissuade anyone from doing that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Did Brandon go rock out or something? Did he leave?
sorry, I just did a cameo with the guitar. I'm back. Okay, here we go. Let's
At
go
the party?
to,
Did you do a
yeah.
Metallica solo?
I think we're into Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers now, so that's good.
Yeah, buddy.